We'll just take questions at this time, so if you could raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. Please give your name and affiliation for Coach. Start with Jerry, right down front.
Jim, you're probably sick of this, but UConn, Villanova, three of the last 4 teams. I even thought Providence might have got here. So is it a little bit like a Big East reunion for you?
You know, I just look. I've only looked at Dayton, so I can't help you with that one. You know, they're good teams, and not surprising that they're here and playing. Huh? Yeah, I just don't think about it anymore. You gotta, you gotta move on. You know, it's like you don't ask questions about somebody's ex-wife, do you? There's a good reason. There's a good reason for that. You can only get in trouble with answering that question if you're married again.
Other questions, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Go ahead, Mike.
Jim, Mike Catalano, Channel 13, Rochester. Everybody talks about pace, and they talked about liking to go and liking to run and trying to do it their best. Is that something you try to dictate in a game like that, or how do you adjust that to what they like to do?
You know, if teams are going to hold the ball for the whole shot clock, which we see sometimes, it's hard to get in a running game. You're not going to probably be able to in those situations. You try to run when you can, but it is difficult. Teams that play a little bit faster, then I think you can get, you can get up and down a little bit better. The pace of the game is dictated by whoever has the basketball. Basically that's the way it is.
In the back.
Coach Travis Eldridge, WBNG TV in Binghamton. What's it going to be like to see Alan Griffin on the other sideline?
I'm not looking at Alan. Don't worry. I know he's got someplace on him. He's got something orange. It's not going to be. It's not going to be in view, but his heart will be for sure. But he's a great kid. He's a great Syracuse kid. He's as good as we've ever had. He's a great kid.
He said afterwards, you guys are going to meet and he's going to give you a big hug. Looking forward to that.
We'll see what happens.
Other questions? Yeah, over here. Yep, we got a mic here.
There's a pause in the action, so I figured I'll ask you something. I mean, when you see what just happened at Duke, does that remind you of how sudden things can happen at this time, and do you feel for Coach K, I guess?
Yeah, I watched the game. I watched almost the whole game, and honestly, and I haven't seen Mercer. It's probably the only team in the country I haven't seen play this year. I don't know. I don't know how I missed them. Just watching them play, I thought they were a better team. I mean, I didn't think this was like Duke playing bad or, anything like that. Whoever's playing Mercer's in trouble. That's what I think. I mean, I just think they have inside guard play, big guys. I just think they're just a really good team. And in this tournament, when you lose to a really good team, it can happen anytime, and that's just the way this tournament is, and it can happen any time to any team in this tournament. It's as simple as that. And you watched those games last night, and it was just a thread as to who was going to be playing and who was going to be going home, and that's what makes the tournament great. It makes it heartbreaking for the teams that don't quite get there. It's one play, it's one shot, one missed free throw. That's what it is, and it's very, very difficult.
Go to Mike and then up here to Mark.
Mike Waters with the Syracuse Post-Standard. Jim, at this portion of the tournament, on the second day of the weekend, how hard is that turnaround in terms of preparation and scouting?
I don't watch much tape, so it's not much difference to me. I don't mind. you know, it's the same for everybody. You know, you got to get your team ready, and as long as it's the same for everybody, it's fine.
Go ahead, Mark.
Mark Herman from Newsday. You know, when the tournament's going on, you're in it. How much do you watch of other games, and do you watch? If you do you watch as a fan or do you watch as a?
I watch all the games. I watch. You know, I always do. I always have. You know, you only think so much about your game. You know, you got to get that done. We had our scouting report. We haven't talked to the players yet about Dayton. If you ask them a question about Dayton, I don't know what they knew, because we haven't done that yet. We'll do that today at practice. And you know, we think Dayton's terrific. We happened to see them play in person in Hawaii 3 times, so we know how good they are before we ever got here. And but you know, I watch all the games, and you know, go out to dinner, and we'll get ready, you know, for tomorrow night.
Far right here, Coach.
Jeremy Ryan, Noon's Magician. He had an early start yesterday, late start tomorrow. Do you have a preference? Does it make a difference?
You know, I like kind of like the 4 o'clock game, where it's, you know, you're not too early, not too late, but it's fine. Whatever, you know. It's good. 7's fine. I'm good with that.
Mike.
Coach, with some schools, it's the celebration of getting in the tournament, some winning a game. You guys have won so much. Sweet 16 has been a place you've been a lot. Do you miss the time when it was, not that people won't be excited, but that celebration, if you were to win tomorrow, that some schools obviously would have more than maybe yours because you've put this team in this position so many times?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has different expectations and different, you know, goals, or, you know, where they want to go, and you know, it's just the way it kind of is. And my feeling is, if we, you know, play well, whatever that game is, and if we lose, we lose. You know, I mean, and you might not play well. That's, you know, that's just the way this tournament is. There's no predicting it. There was no predicting that we would play the way we played yesterday. I thought that would be a difficult game coming into it. Things just went right for us, and you know, the game changed quickly early. But you know, you can't. The one thing, you know, as you get old, like I am, you know, you're gonna, you know, it's gonna be disappointing if you lose, and you know, you just have to learn to live with it. I'm not sure I've quite learned that yet, but I'm optimistic that at some point in time I might learn how to deal with it better, but I don't know if you ever do, probably never do learn how to. It's just, that's the nature of this tournament. It's just such a great tournament. It really is. But it's such a real kind of false indication of what you are, because I remember when we won, we were 18 points down to Oklahoma State, and it was like one of those games you think, well, let's try not to get beat by 30 here. And you know, we came back and won, but and that was the biggest scare we had in the tournament. But you know, you just never know. You could be out in that game and not be able to go on and do what you did.
Any other questions for Coach? We got one over here.
Jim, hi, Tom Archdeacon from Dayton. I just wondered what you know about Archie Miller, real young coach, and he's younger than you've been.
Well, I've known him a long time. I saw him on the Tonight Show when he was 6, so. You know, he's a great coach. I think he's done a great coaching job. As I said early in the year when we saw him, you know, you watch teams on TV, you get a certain feeling, but when you watch them in person like we did in Maui, which you can't do that anymore, of course, you can't scout people anymore, but we watched them over there because of the tournament, and I'm just impressed with how hard his team plays, how they play together, you know, just really well coached team, and He's done a tremendous job coaching that team.
Okay, Jerry, keep us going.
Yeah, keep
Jerry
it going.
Sullivan again. Jim, you have any theories on shooters? Because why they get on streaks, off streaks? Why a guy like Cooney is suddenly making them?
Well, you know, most shooters I find, I like the ones that don't think much. Or maybe can't think much is even a better description, because they just forget things and they forget what happened or what didn't happen. They just get the next shot. And the best shooters are those are the guys. They just get they want that shot. They're going to take it, and they don't think about anything except getting that shot up there, and they think they're going to make every one. And that's what the great ones do. You know, they just, you know, get in that mode. You know, there's not really a lot of great shooters. I mean, guys that, like Archie Miller, you know, if he gets 10 shots, he's going to make, on a bad night, he's going to make 4, and on a good night, he's going to make 7. You know, I mean, there aren't many guys like that. There's a very, very few like that can really shoot the basketball that way. You know, you watch, like I watched Kevin Durant and Carmelo during the Olympics. I mean, these guys make 18, 19 out of 23s in shooting drills. You know, I mean, college kids, like, if they make 10, that's, you know, we call them great shooters. These guys make 19 out of 20 like 10 times. You know, if they make 15, if Kevin Durant makes 15 out of 20, you want to look at the ball, because there's something wrong with that ball there. It's just not right, you know. But those guys, they go up, they believe they're going to make every shot. And the worst thing is when a shooter starts thinking about it. And some shooters, you'll see them change their shot a little bit. They'll try to aim it a little bit. And those guys are never going to be good. You know, you got to get set. You got to take the same shot every time. That's really the key to being a great shooter. You watch the great shooters, they shoot the same shot every time. And too many guys don't. They're moving, they're sliding, they're not different, you know, things. But Trevor's a really good shooter, and I'm confident that when we get him good shots, you know, he's going to make them. I'm very confident of that until the game's over with and he doesn't.
Anybody else with any other questions for Coach Boehiem?
Okay, thanks.
If not, thank you. UConn at 3:10.